Hello everyone, my name is Jesse and this is The Auditorium. I react to video game music. As a musician myself, today is the return of Persona 5 Royal. We're going to be listening to two songs. No More What Ifs from the channel Lynn, and Colors Flying High from the channel Some Random Name, requested by Justin, Michelle, Jordan, and JSB. Now, Persona is always a good time, but I think this is really funny because I've mentioned before that Persona, it's the only game I've ever said this for. It's like it always puts you in a good mood, at least for me. And this couldn't have come at a better time because I'm currently dealing with the IRS and they're very annoying. And I've been dealing with them all day. So this is the most clutch video that could have happened. Now, I don't know if the songs are going to be good, but there's a good chance that they're going to be good. So, anyways, No More What Ifs, followed by Colors Flying High. I have no context on either of these. I just know that they're probably going to sound dope as hell. That's it. Let's do it. No More What Ifs. Ooh, I immediately got that Beneath the Mask vibe. It's like my mood just kind of... Damn! Sounds like Sade. I needed this so bad.
I do not regret with my choices. I'm rather proud.
Her voice is so timeless. Acrostic drums. Not the roads. Not the roads. This soundtrack is so nuts, dude. Like, what else can I say about it? You know how this game is responsible for so many people around the world to like jazz music and funk and all that stuff. Contemporary. I'm not exaggerating, I totally knew this. I'll explain later, but man, today sucked. It's Monday, you know? It's a very Monday.
My story will be starring me just like yours.
I've also never heard her voice like this. I think it sounds closer to her regular speaking voice.
How you bring joy to life.
So let's picture this scenario, however you say it. Tomato, tomato. It's anyone's business, no one cares. Just imagine just a long day of dealing with numbers and adult stuff, and then also waiting on hold. Remember waiting on hold? Like, I feel like that's not a... How to explain that? Who cares? It's annoying. And it doesn't happen often, but when it happens, it sucks every single time. And it's so draining and just boring as hell. Because, like, you can't be too busy, because if you get too busy, you might miss one. You know what I mean? Anyways, I've been dealing with that sort of vibe all day. And I was so looking forward to recording, because it's always a good time. You know, it's video game music. But also, I knew I was going to do Persona, and I'm like, okay, well, I've distinctively, I've said before that Persona music always kind of puts you in a good mood. And it sort of just kind of like washes away the bad vibes of the day, at least for me. It's just so good, you know. It has this smooth nature to it, but I wasn't expecting like a slow jam like that. You know, Persona's, it's always a little bit of a gamble what Persona is going to sound like to me. It's still going to have like this crazy high energy of like almost like a breakbeat, and then every now and then they'll pull out one of these. You know, like I don't think I felt that I recall since Beneath the Mask, and that one like really changed how I saw Persona for, you know, forever after that. Because up until that point, it was all just kind of dance hits, and then whoa, that happened. And then Beneath the Mask became one of my favorite songs that I've even heard on the channel. Like I still listen to that normally. And this kind of gave me that same sort of, oh, okay. So, you know, context aside, which I don't have, the song kind of tells me that it's, I would have to assume, a more serious moment, a more heartfelt moment, a time of reflection, and, you know, there's just so many things it could convey with that sort of tempo and ultra jazzy sound with the cross stick. The big emphasis on the stand-up bass, her smooth, like almost nonchalant vocal, which sounds kind of like her talking. Because even in Beneath the Mask, she's clearly singing, you know, I'm a shapeshift. But here she's kind of like, you know, it's hard to explain, but that was, I can't believe I'm saying this after all this time of hearing Persona music, but that was different. That was different and kind of stood out. And also the song titled No More What Ifs, it definitely sounds along the lines of this is serious and a big moment, or maybe towards the end, you know, it's a very statement, you know, no more. So that's all I got. But extremely jazzy, one of the more jazzier songs that I've heard from the Persona series, like actual jazz. I definitely felt the because when I think jazz, I think of improvisation and just jamming endlessly. Like the drummer and the bassist can do that forever, and then the vocals and guitar like does something randomly over it. It kind of felt like that. Obviously, this was, you know, composed and written out, but it had the feeling of a jazz composition. You know, like a lounge, just hearing this little quartet or something in the corner of some dive bar. Not a dive bar, but like some fancy kind of bar. Underground that no one knows about. Something out of a movie. A lot of questions for that one. Damn, 1 million views. Yep. I believe it. I'm assuming also Shoji Meguro is still like the only or most featured composer in P5 still. I don't know about anything after this. This one has almost 4 million views. Oof. Colors Flying High. Another one I have no context on. Very curious how the energy is, if it's going to shift or if it's going to stay the same. That's the wonder of these 2-for-1 videos. Colors Flying High, Persona 5 Royal. This is the kind of sound I like associate Persona with. Ooh. The verse was cooler than the intro. Yeah. It's a catchy one. Da da da. A little disco-ish. With electric guitars. It's like a mixture of decades. Late 70s to like late 90s put together. Yeah, like that. That sounds really like kind of disco and all that. And then you get the electric guitars out of nowhere. This is sick. I like how it's just the drums. Put the chord on every. Oh, that's gonna get stuck in my head, huh? So talented. But she really is such a good singer. I'm not gonna lie, there's something that sounds kind of weird in this song. It's not doing anything for me. It's not adding. Oh, it's maybe. Here it's cool. Here it's cool. Dun, 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 dun. I'm talking about the electric guitar. But like here? They could totally do without it too. I don't know. I'm not trying to nitpick, I'm just coming from a guitar player. Maybe it's just the sound of the guitar. The mix is kind of like... It's very distorted. I mean, it still sounds cool. Don't get me wrong. It's interesting, the huge, like, dynamic difference between the first song and this one. Totally different, right? I feel like both of these songs are kind of like the opposite spectrums that Persona 5 has to offer as far as their range. And I know there's a lot of stuff in between. But I feel like this is a pretty decent representation of like the range of the OST that it could offer. From what I've experienced so far, it sounds pretty accurate. So this one, I said it before in the first song, but yeah, Lynn is just, I think, I don't know if underrated is the right word. I think she's now, what I'm trying to say is like, she deserves better and more. You know, she needs to be recognized on a more grand scale, like movies, TV, other stuff besides just, as far as I know, just Persona. I'm sure she's in other stuff, but like she's too good. You know, she reminds me a lot of Sharon Jones when she was with us, and just has undeniable talent and kind of can make any song sound incredible. you know? And that's saying something because a lot of the music in Persona, instrumental wise, is fantastic on its own. So to further enhance it with the vocal, it's pretty cool stuff. And I feel like she always has like my full attention every time she sings, every single time. It's always catchy. Also, Shoji has a lot to do with it too. You can tell that the way he writes is all like, it's gotta be a hit. I think he's like a mega perfectionist. Almost every song from Persona has it's gotta be catchy, it's gotta be stuck in your head, and it's gotta be like a total hit. You know, I don't think he ever has any room for throwaway songs, or, you know what I mean? Like, everything sounds like it's just so. You know, I think when people talk about Persona music, you can kind of unanimously hear the praises in the comment sections and everything's like, dude, the whole soundtrack of Persona sounds incredible. This is why, you know, there's a lot of emphasis and attention to detail, and it's kind of scary. You know, I feel like the soundtrack takes forever to make for these games. Maybe just as long as the actual game itself. Who knows? It's impressive just how much each song on their own can be like. Think of it this way. There's a lot of games that have like their one standout song, or like the one maybe people talk about more than others. Each song in Persona could be like that one. This is what I'm saying. It's that's how like scary that is. You think you'd hear one and you're like, oh, that surely is like the most popular song, right? Well, no, there's That's insane. That is a reputation and quite a resume. Now this song, kind of interesting, has this little like decade fusion, kind of the 70s disco stuff, a little bit of like an 80s beat as well, but also just like anything else, it has this sort of timeless feel. But for some reason, I don't know what it was, but like just during half of that song, I was like, what is the guitarist doing here? And that's really odd because I never say really anything negative of any kind towards Persona. And me, a guitarist of 20 years, who you would think I'm biased towards that. I'm still honest at the end of the day. Like, if something is kind of standing out to me for some reason, I'm just going to say it how it is. It just sounded out of place. Now, mind you, if you're watching this, you've played this game, most likely. And you've heard this and you're like, what is he talking about? I can't imagine not hearing that. I am hearing it as the first time, and I don't play this game. So my opinion is obviously way different. I'm hearing just the music and have no context, and I'm not seeing anything. I have no idea if this character is even related to it. But I just heard the guitars and I'm like, it didn't like add anything to the song. The song totally could have lived without it. I don't dislike it because of that. I'm just saying it's just something that came to mind. And it's so minute, but something that I had to bring up. I don't know. I guess it was just the mix of it. The mix of the distortion was just like a little too trebly. I don't know. I'm just being honest. It was weird, but both songs are really cool and totally different of each other. You know, we have this slower jazz thing that seems to be more rare, which I also really love. And then we have this more what I would consider traditional Persona sound. And I don't know, I guess I'm just more I'm shocked and I'm impressed that everything can sound like a big hit. I don't know, it's so hard to explain. I can't say that about really, I mean, I can say that about other games, but you know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. You know, there's a lot of, like, every game has like their one or two or three songs that kind of But Persona's, like, it seems like they go out of their way. And not just Persona, you know, Shin Megami Tensei is also really good, although there's some songs I don't like there. Catherine, you know, that Catherine song I heard was like one of the best songs I've ever heard in my life. This composer, who I believe is primarily a guitarist too, is quite legendary, man. And kind of intimidating. Those are my thoughts on Colors Flying High and No More What Ifs. I feel like those songs are completely not related whatsoever. I don't think they are. They don't sound like they're anything close to each other. Probably don't play near each other. Nothing. It is 2 songs from one game. Anyways, I'm yapping a lot, but that's what this channel is. It's my reaction to the what I just heard. Thank you to Justin, Michelle, Jordan, and JSB. Persona is always cool, and I'll always look forward to it. And it made my day better already. I already forgot about that. Well, now I remember because I just talked about it. But yeah, it's always fantastic sounding stuff. One of the best soundtracks in video game history, for sure. Thank you to my patrons. Thank you to my platinum members. To you for watching. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Peace.